Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. I'm back in the studio. For those of you who don't know, I have been away for, I'd say 2.5 months from my own studio, so that's mental. I did try to pre-record as much as I can, so there were videos while I was gone, but I haven't been in here recording myself for about 2.5 months. It's really weird, but good to be back. I can yell as loud as I want, and no one will care. So that's great. That's good. Life is Strange 2. We're checking out Life is Strange 2. Well, not the game itself, the trailer for it. I did not expect this game to ever come into existence. It does. And it is now going to be a thing that will come out fairly soon. And I'm like, wow. Didn't expect that. Life is Strange is one of these games. Usually I am all for like big open world RPG games. These are the kind of things that I personally like. Even though I can play simulation games and other kind of games. That is my bread and butter, so to speak. However, there's a couple of games like, you know, Telltale's The Walking Dead, Life is Strange, like these little cute kind of games with a different art style that steal your heart and just do something with you. And you're like, this is not the kind of game I usually play, but it's so enjoyable, and it's something that I actually really liked. So, going to Life is Strange is a very emotional roller coaster for me, which I don't often experience with games, so I was very grateful for that experience, and I am to this day. Then I played Life is Strange Before the Storm, and at the time, I actually said that I felt it was better. Now, what I meant by that is not that the game itself was better, the story itself is better, because especially after analyzing it and reviewing what I've been through and with that situation and what I've played, I considered it isn't. I just felt like the minimalized style of it, you know, that was brought down with no supernatural stuff and just having the story be about Chloe and her drive and her grit and her being miserable most of the time. Her going through that emotional roller coaster after losing her dad and finding herself in this world with this weird new friend that she's made all of a sudden, dragging it into all like the weird situations. That's like, I like the minimalistic style of that. Now, that doesn't mean that it's a better game. I just thought that the setting itself, in that degree, was a bit better. Now, Life is Strange is the better of the two games, though, don't get me wrong. And therefore, after Life is Strange Before the Storm, which kind of gave a closure to Chloe's story, because while playing through Life is Strange, and while hearing about Rachel's story, so to speak, Rachel and Chloe's story, we kind of be like, what does that all mean? What is, I mean, you're like, who is Rachel anyway? Who the fuck is Rachel really? And then, of course, spoiler alert if you haven't played them, but you really shouldn't be watching this if you haven't. Then you come to the point in Life is Strange where you find Rachel's body, or her remains, or whatever is left of her, in the junkyard. And then you're like, okay, so we know what happened to her, but we don't know the dynamic. We don't know how it all got set up. And therefore you feel a bit distant from that story. It touches on you, definitely, because Life is Strange does manage to get to your emotional sides, but it's like, it's a bit distant for us as a player. Life is Strange Before the Storm, I felt, had the sole purpose of connecting us to the story of Rachel and Chloe before Max got into the picture again, with her moving back from Seattle. So I think that was meant to finish all that up while going through another emotional roller coaster, as well as giving more background on what happened to Chloe herself, obviously after her dad passed. So I thought that was done. I thought that was it. And then they announced Life is Strange 2 with different characters, a different setting, a different story, a different world, different everything. And I'm like, wow, what? Life is Strange is a franchise that it continues. I am all for it, but it's gonna have to be great. And I'm curious if they can. I'm not sure if they can overdo it. I'm not sure if they can overdo and outdo themselves, because the first game was so good because no one saw it coming. No one heard of the game. It was an unknown little thing. And for me personally, at the time I watched a lot of PewDiePie as he still played video games, which is a long time ago. And he just uploaded this one video and I was like, Life is Strange, huh? It's a long video. Let me watch this. And I'm like, hey, this is cool. Then I got it myself. I ended up playing it myself. And it became a huge hype with a big fandom that is still active. And so it became so good out of its own minimalization, so to speak. So now, with Life is being the big franchise that it is, and people being excited and hyped and waiting for this, the only thing it can really do is either stay on its level or disappoint. And we all know what the easier of the two things is to do. So it's going to have to be great. And I hope that it can be. Now, we're gonna watch this trailer because I have no idea what this is going to be about, and I'm very curious about diving into these characters in this world and whatever the setting is going to be. So, why don't you bear with me? Here we go.
Peggy 18.
Just so you know. What are we gonna get?
I have no idea where we are.
Mail? Haven't seen any mail stars as of yet.
Feels like we're walking nowhere.
Me doing groceries.
I don't think Daniel understands what's going on.
Brothers?
I can't tell him the truth now. I just can't.
Okay.
How am I supposed to take care of us out here?
So did their parents die? Or leave? Or... I'm not sure. Because they seem to be alone and isolated in the woods. Did they run away from home? Shooting?
On the ground! Don't move! Oh.
What are we gonna do now?
Oh, they're on the
There's
run.
nothing we can't do.
Apparently.
As long as we're together.
Life is Strange 2. Episode 105 coming September 27th, 2018.
PS4 for the players.
Okay, so I am thinking that this looks like a boy who seems to be about somewhere between 18 and 21 potentially, with this little brother. Maybe they were orphans, maybe they had a lovely home, we don't know anything about their background yet, who got into a situation with this police officer, and then something happened that he was supposed to stop. We don't know what happened, what came before. He was supposed to like surrender to the cop for whatever reason, and then something happened which got the police officer killed. That's what it seems like right now. So they seem to be on the run. That's all I can really get from that. Now, obviously, there might be more clues that people will go into deeper analyzations of, which is all the way fine. I'm going to be definitely looking at that. I've already looked, and there is a first like 20 minutes gameplay demo. If you want me to, take a look at that, then by all means, let me know. I'm curious about this. Like as I said, these characters will need to be interesting. This story will need to be good, and this will need to be intriguing and suck me into it. And that's going to be... I know that they can do it, but will they do it? That's the big question here. Life is Strange was an achievement on its own. It was great. Life is Strange Before the Storm was great for what it was, but it wasn't as spectacular. Will they, with very little time in between these games, get it right and get this game to a level where it can be like, okay, yeah, this was a great decision to make? Because they're going to have to. If this is gonna flop, then it's not gonna ruin the franchise. Life is Strange will always be the great experience that it is and was. But if they don't get this right, it could seriously ruin the franchise reputation. Kind of like what happened to Telltale's The Walking Dead. Now, this third season, A New Frontier, wasn't bad by any means. It was an enjoyable experience, but it just wasn't as good. It simply wasn't as great, and therefore the first season, which I thoroughly enjoyed playing, and the second season were just good as well, it became a bit of a disappointment, because there's a hype, there's a level of expectation. It's no longer just like, oh, this is cute, we'll see what happens, and then being blown out of your mind, basically, by how good it is. It's no longer that. There's expectations and there's hype now. And if they can fulfill this, then this is going to be a great idea. Some part of me with this current gaming industry and this current environment is kind of scared, though, because I don't want this franchise to be ruined. I should probably have more faith in the company, because I know that they can do it. They have done it in the past, and they will probably, hopefully, do it again. I just hope that it's going to be the case. Now, let me know what you think in the comments down below, as well as leaving a like and subscribe if you haven't already. I would love to hear your opinions on this trailer and on Life is Strange in general. If there's anything that you disagree with or agree with, or you just want to say hi, the comments are a great place to get typing. Make sure to check out my social media and any donation links in the description. You can sponsor me via YouTube. You can, you can go What else have you got? I've got a Patreon. You can go donate a one-time only thing to me on PayPal. Whatever you want if you value my content. And hopefully I will see you back soon as well. It's been great having you here. Thank you for watching. And until the next time. Bye-bye.